Yes, my people, welcome back to the channel. It's ReadyMoneyTyrieq. Now, Jake Paul versus Andrew Tate. We saw them square up, and we saw it again at Deji versus Mayweather, and it's looking like Jake Paul versus Andrew Tate is going to happen in 2023. But I can guarantee you that this fight will not happen. I know it's got some of you excited. You know, I know some of you's top G, but this fight will not go ahead. I'm going to explain why. But before I get into that, I want to see what will happen if Jake Paul and Andrew Tate were to fight, and to do that, I've got to have a look at Andrew Tate. I've seen Jake Paul versus Deji. I've seen Jake Paul versus Anis Gibb. I saw what Jake Paul did to Tyron Woodley. I saw what he did to Ben Askren. One thing that these guys all have in common is none of them are boxers. Now, Andrew Tate's a 4-time kickboxing world champion, so I expect him to throw his hands. I found some footage and I'm gonna have a look at it. Here it says Andrew Tate versus Marcel, full fight 1v1. I'm not too sure who Marcel is, but if you lot know who he is, let me know in the comments. But let's see how he gets on. Very cagey start here. Neither of them trying to throw a punch. Lead left hook by Andrew. Turning his back here. So we're literally 3 shots in and this Marcel guy goes down. I'm not too sure who he is, but I'm not impressed. Andrew looks like he can throw his hands, which I expected, but let's see how the spar continues to go. One thing I will say though before this spar continues is this Marcel guy looks about half Andrew's size. I'm guessing that one of Andrew's friends by that grin on Andrew's face in that corner, but he looks about half his size and he don't look like he has any boxing ability, so again, for a 3rd time in the first round, Marcel goes down. It was a good pull cutter by Andrew Tate, but he don't really look like he got much power on that. And Marcel just went down. Yeah, Andrew says punch me then. He don't look, comes back with a pull cutter right hand, but it don't really look like it's got the most power on. Marcel goes down. It's the 3rd time in round 1. I'm guessing this bar is going to continue. This big guy steps in the ring like he's ready to take on Andrew Tate for Marcel. Okay, one thing we saw there is that Andrew's able to switch stance. Now, if he can do that against Jake Paul, could be a problem for Jake Paul. But let's see what Andrew Tate does with that. Okay, he switches back. Lead left hook again. Back to the body. Body shot again. Marcel don't look like he has much boxing experience, let's be honest. It's the 4th time in round 1. If that was a fight, 3 times he went down, it would have been waved off. This is the 4th time. I'm going to look at some more sparring footage because it don't really look like Marcel's any sparring match for Andrew Tate. Lead right hand by Andrew Tate again. Now, really what we're seeing here compared to Andrew versus Marcel is that this guy's a bit more Andrew's size. He's willing to throw, so it's making it much more of a competitive spar. But he don't really look on Andrew Tate's level. But let's see how the spar plans out. Good lead left hook by Andrew. Yeah, he didn't like that one. Now, I'm convinced that Andrew Tate has power. Sorry, he's been kickboxing for a long time. I'm convinced that he has power. But these guys that he's sparring look like the slightest shot that he throws, they're ready to give up, and it's not really making for a good spar to watch. It's just, you know, for you Andrew Tate fans that are watching, it may look like a good spar, that Andrew Tate's the best thing since sliced bread. But from a boxer's perspective, we can see that this guy is no sparring match for Andrew. So it doesn't really show how good Andrew really is. It just shows Andrew getting away with a lot, if I'm being quite honest. It's nice of Andrew to continue, encourage him to continue to fight. Good jab, that was better. Again, I wasn't convinced by the pull cutter right hand that Andrew landed against Marcel, but I am convinced by that pull cutter right hand that he landed against this hater, and that was quite clean. He's gone down, let's see if he gets back up. Alright, he's back up, that was quite quick. One thing I will say is, I'm guessing this is the 1st round of the spar. This guy is gassing to the max. He's breathing 30 seconds. He is breathing very heavy here. Yeah. Left to right hand by Andrew. He's gone down again. She's alright. His breathing starts to be a bit more controlled. Good jabs by Andrew. That's better. That's better by Andrew. Good jabs. Normally tends to lead with a left hook. Flashy right. Yeah, this guy doesn't really want to know anymore, and therefore I don't want to watch any more of this spar because this guy doesn't look on Andrew's level. But I have got one more spar that I do want to see.
I got you, Top G. I saw that.
You got a Top G fanboy in the back there for Andrew. If that sparring partner didn't look like he had much fast feet, but he looked better than the rest and looked like a good spar for Andrew. I've gathered a few things here from Andrew from watching his sparring footage, and a couple of things I've gathered is punch repertoire. It's quite the same, you know, it's the lead left hook, it's the left hook to the body, it's the right hand, he drops after the right hand. He doesn't really lead off the jab, and he doesn't really throw punches and combinations. Jake Paul, there you go. I gave you his downfall, sorry. Send me the bag whenever. But he's very repetitive in the punches that he throws. He doesn't box with his hands up, and he actually can't box with his hands up, and I'm going to explain why next as to why this fight won't happen. But yeah, from what I've gathered, what I've seen here is, you know, Tate's been retired from kickboxing for a few years now. You know, he does these spars, you know, he's focused on his businesses and stuff. From what I've gathered here, I feel like Jake Paul would win this fight if this fight was to happen, just because Jake Paul's been active, he's younger. I think Tate's been smoking cigars for a couple of years now. You know, he's probably unfit. He is a good fighter, but none of these people that he's sparred look on his level to be sparring him, so it's making it a bit difficult to see how good Andrew Tate really is. But pure based on activity, I'm going to say Jake Paul wins this fight. He's been active, he's versed a few UFC legends, the likes of Anderson Silva, so I'm going to say Jake wins this. But that doesn't even matter anyway, because this fight will not happen, and let me explain to you why. Now, a while back, Andrew Tate had an interview and he said this as to why he no longer fights in kickboxing, and this is going to be the reason why Andrew Tate and Jake Paul do not fight in 2023. So let's have a look at that.
The main reason I don't fight with my hands up is because I have very bad eyes, and even if I take a punch on the gloves, it damages my eyes. I had surgery on my eyes, my retina's detached many times, I have bad eyes.
Okay, that's it right there. Andrew has told you right there, he has very bad eyes, his retina's detached, he cannot box with his hands up, and this is why this fight is not going to go ahead. You've seen on Andrew Tate's footage today of his sparring, not once did I see him box with his hands high. His retina's detached. You're not even allowed to box with your retina detached, but I don't know how it works in the YouTube boxing, but I can guarantee you this fight will not go ahead. If he can't box with his hands up, how is he meant to catch the shots? I get he moves his head a lot, yeah, but if you can't block the shots, and Jake Paul has a big shot on him, so if one of them lands clean, that's good night for Andrew, and Andrew has a big reputation on the line, and the character that he is, I doubt he's willing to lose that in a fight to Jake Paul.
Those things I have, and that's why I actually fight with my hands down. That's why I developed fighting with my hands down, because I can't block punches. It doesn't work for me. Even if you do block, even if I block, if my glove touches my eye, I go blind.
There you go, he goes on to explain that he can't block punches. Even if he does, his retina's detached, he goes blind. If he can't block, how are you going to step in the ring and you can't catch a shot? And if you do take a shot on the gloves, your glove's going to go blind. Therefore, you can't box Jake Paul, and this fight will not happen in 2023. This interviewer goes on to ask Andrew, I think this is when Andrew was kickboxing at the time, the interviewer goes on to ask Andrew, why do you continue to fight then? And Andrew goes, because I'm stupid, and fighting Jake Paul would be a very stupid move, because Andrew has a massive reputation at the moment. I think he's one of the most popular people in 2022. I don't watch him, but I know he's a lot of people's top G. He could lose all of that in one fight to Jake Paul, and this is why this fight won't go ahead, because he would not be willing to lose all of this. Now, my people, thank you for sticking around to the end. We gathered why this fight is not gonna happen, but make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Check out that video in the top right where myself and Vidal Riley show you guys how to train like a boxer, and I'll see you in a bit.